They're the all-star leaders of two teams fighting for the playoffs. They've combined to hit 66 home runs and drive in 163 runs. One of them is going to be this year's American League MVP. They are Mike Trout and Josh Donaldson, and they're on Fox Sports West next.
Good start to the homestand for the Angels. They are 3-1, but now the real test has arrived this weekend. The Toronto Blue Jays sitting atop the American League wild card and second in the American League East, in town for the first of three tonight here at the Big A. Let's take a look at the standings in the American League West. The Angels 2.5 back of the Houston Astros. Houston hosting the Dodgers, and you see the Angels 3 back of the Blue Jays, hanging on to a half-game lead over the Orioles. As we welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and as we just showed you, a pretty good showcase of talent, not only in the lineups, but specific players, Josh Donaldson and Mike Trout. Mike will certainly have his hands full with David Price on the mound. We'll talk about the pitching matchup, but overall, a very good MVP race.
Victor, a little different approaches as far as hitting those home runs. Take a look at our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Josh Donaldson, a little bit of a higher leg kick, longer swing through the baseball. As you can see here on the left, he's got that high leg kick, the drive through the baseball, a long follow through, but the great extension he creates to hit 33 home runs. 30 doubles also. And then you got Mike Trout, the shorter stride, the more compact swing, power swing that he creates to drive the ball out of the ballpark for 33 times. Both these guys can crush the baseball. This should be a lot of fun to watch those two compete tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. And we mentioned the pitching matchup. David Price, new acquisition for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's always tough. Hector Santiago, coming off a very good start against the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball very well against Kansas City. Mentioned that both Toronto and Kansas City loaded with right-handed power, so Hector threw the ball much better inside. David Price has been outstanding, third-best ERA in the American League. Hector with the sixth-best ERA in the American League. Both left-handers that like to pitch inside, both have cuts fastballs, so this should be a lot of fun to see them compete and maybe MVPs compete.
One of many showdowns down the stretch for the Angels. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. By Foster Farms Fresh and Natural, locally grown and no added hormones. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
series here. 3 different start times. 7:05 tonight, 6:37 tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Hall of Fame Saturday. And then Sunday, the 12:35 finale, wrapping up this 3-game set and the homestand. Mentioned the Angels taking 3 of 4 against the Chicago White Sox. Last night, not the way you wanted things to end going into this weekend series, but at least you can put that behind you and see what they have in store tonight.
I think of the positive, though. You won 3 out of 4 against a club that swept you in Chicago, so there was some positives, but you have to start off very quick against this Toronto club. Very good offense, but also they have a very good pitcher on the mound.
Hector Santiago on the mound. He's about to begin his warm-up pitches. And we will take a look at John Gibbons' starting lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays. Mentioned they are second in the American League East, a game and a half back with a 66-55 record. Troy Tulowitzki will lead things off. He's the shortstop. Josh Donaldson getting his hacks in. He is batting second and third. Jose Bautista in right. Edwin Encarnacion, the DH. Justin Smoak at first. Russell Martin behind the plate. Kevin Pillar, the SoCal native, is in center field. Ben Revere coming over from the Phillies. He's in left. And Cliff Pennington of the Diamondbacks is now batting ninth and playing second base. They will take on Hector Santiago. His 25th appearance, 24th start of the season. We've already talked about his last start against Kansas City. Very, very good start. Comes into this one with a 7-6 record at 2.86 ERA.
Very good strikeout to walk ratio for Hector. But my go-to is when you look at what percentages of outs so far this year for Hector, 48% of its outs are fly ball outs. This is a fly ball hitting club, so you got to think in terms of more strikeouts and more ground ball outs. 2-to-1 almost ratio between fly ball outs and ground ball outs. Look to see Hector get a few more ground ball outs as this game progresses.
Check out the Angels defensively tonight behind Hector Santiago. Shane Victorino on left, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield with Caleb Coward and Eric Ibar on the left side. Ryan Jackson getting to start at second, C.J. Cron at first, and Chris Sinetta a second consecutive start behind the plate.
And by showing those fly ball outs for Hector, Cole Calhoun very active, especially when Hector's on the mound. Is 7 outfield assists, which is 4th best, or tied for 4th best among AL right fielders. Last year had 9. Being very good in right field this season.
Second meeting between these two teams. They split a 4-game series in Toronto from May 18th through May 21st. The Angels winning the middle 2 games. With tonight's first pitch being delivered by the UPS Store. Tulowitzki takes ball 1. 20th game now with Toronto. 219 average, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs in the American League. With Colorado this year. 312 home runs and 53 runs batted in. Had that big first game for the Blue Jays and hasn't done a whole lot offensively, but he's always a threat at the plate.
He's done a very solid job defensively for him. In that transition to be a National League player over to the American League, it used to be a big difference back in the day, especially when you got a lot more off-speed pitches and fastball counts in the American League as compared to the National League.
Gets jammed, fouls it back, so the count remains at 1-2. Hector with 141 and 2/3 innings under his belt, just 119 hits allowed, 131 strikeouts. He's 6th in the American League in earned run average. Two balls, 2 strikes.
And what Hector did before this started, which he hadn't done the last few, is went right back to that line he makes from both sides of the pitching rubber. His pitching lane. Did that for quite a while this season, then went away from that with more like a squiggly line, and then went back altogether, did not use the lines back after that last game in Kansas City.
Tulowitzki goes down swinging. There's the first down of the game.
And the reason why he does that, he wants to land right on that one line, especially on that first base side of the pitching rubber. Creates deception, gives him balance, and the shoulders are squared up on the plate. Be able to go back door on a slider. Perfect pitch for Hector.
Brings up Josh Donaldson. What a season he has had. First year with the Blue Jays, 293, 33 home runs, leads the majors with 91 RBIs. Now an off the glove and back to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes. He's batted the number 2 spot primarily all season long. 98th game in this spot in the lineup for him. What a huge acquisition for the Blue Jays. As we pointed out, we talked about it a couple of days ago in previewing this series. Right now, today, probably think that Donaldson just slightly ahead of Trout in that MVP race.
Yeah, I think so too, but there's plenty of games left. And who makes the playoffs? A big determining factor on the MVP.
Hector falls behind here, 3 balls and no strikes.
I was talking to Kevin Pillar before the game about Josh Donaldson. He says he brings that element to him, has everyone loose, has fun, but also once the game starts, always getting that uniform dirty, always coming through with clutch hits at the right time for this team.
And there's ball 4. So a strikeout of Tulowitzki, a 4-pitch walk. And they'll bring up Bautista.
Hyundai key for this game for the Angels. It's going to be a close one. A little XYZ inside out. Important for Hector. Get back in that fastball mode of inside, back, inside fastball. Then get the hitters out away. Similar to what he did to Tulowitzki, that first batter of the game.
So now 5 out of the strike zone. Jose Bautista, the right fielder, 236 average, but 28 home runs, 82 runs batted in. Very difficult middle part of the order for Toronto. One and one. Blue Jays come in to action tonight. 4th in the American League in team batting average, 2nd in home runs. They are 1st in runs scored, 1st in slugging, 2nd in on-base percentage. And to think when the Angels were in Toronto in May, the talk then was John Gibbons probably not going to survive this season. Downstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And we were just talking about that's exactly what was happening last year with Ned Yost when we saw him at that point of the year last season.
It's amazing how managers just become geniuses when their team actually performs. 2-1 pitch. Yes, he did. 2-2.
A lot of pitches upstairs so far for Hector. He wants to make sure he stays downstairs on some of his pitches. Granted, he can get a swing and miss upstairs. Keep the ball down, especially with that changeup against all these right-handed hitters. That's when you get the ground ball. Bautista's grounded into 16 double plays.
Very small lead for Donaldson at first. That's down and in, full count. Hector kicking at something on the rubber.
Uncomfortable early on in the game.
It shouldn't have a whole lot of effect on a release point on the rubber anyways, right?
I just think he was upset his arm angle he threw that fastball at. We always said Hector, high energy.
If Donaldson takes off, he doesn't. And that is fouled back. So the count remains full. Toronto's been on a tear since the All-Star break, a 21-9 record, having outscored their opponents by 56 runs, 148-92. But out on the road, a little different team. 6 games under 500 compared to the 17 games over at the Rogers Center. Another 3-2. This one fouled back.
Like a changeup away. And if he gets that changeup down, he can get Bautista to roll over that ground and hit a ground ball right to Eric Ibar. But it has to be down and away.
Good crowd expected tonight. Hat giveaway. Beautiful night for baseball. Virtually no breeze whatsoever, but 75 degrees at first pitch. There's the hat. Courtesy of St. Joseph Hoag Health. Another 3-2. Upstairs, and that's back-to-back walks.
Might be a quick visit from Butcher.
It's something you cannot do with this team to start gifting base runners. Hey fans, this broadcast of Angels baseball being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. We welcome you to our broadcast, and we thank you as always for your continued service.
Yeah, if the playoffs started today, these two teams would meet in that wild card game, but up in Toronto.
A strikeout to Tulowitzki, a 4-pitch walk to Donaldson, and now Bautista working the 3-2 walk.
Pretty long conversation with Mike Butcher and Hector.
Remember, Hector eventually settled down after giving up 2 runs in the first inning against Kansas City, allowing a total of 3 hits, but he walked 3 in 7 innings of work. Encarnacion, the DH, 255, 23 bombs, 67 RBIs. Takes down and in. Edwards grounded into 11 double plays this year.
Only 19 pitches thrown for Hector Santiago so far, 11 of them out of the strike zone. This is one team you don't want to fall behind against because they're really geared up to hit the fastball to begin with.
The second time that he has faced Toronto. Picked up the win in Toronto on May 19th. Went 7 innings down. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. Remember, Donaldson had a home run against him in that first inning of that game. Missing low. 2 balls and a strike. It's Jeff Nelson, by the way, calling the balls and strikes tonight. Laz Diaz at first, Chris Guccione at second, and Corey Blazer at third, the umpiring crew for this 3-game series.
High fastball. He helped him out, Encarnacion, by swinging at that pitch. Borderline pitch. Don't get that called a lot when you're missing with a number of pitches early in the game.
Two. Boy, pretty good pitch. Borderline.
And one thing certainly with Jeff Nelson behind the plate, he's always been known as a guy that more of a hitter's type umpire, doesn't give you those pitches that are just touching the corner. That one's touching the outside corner. Does not get the call. He may be going here.
And he walked him. So they're loaded up now after 3 consecutive walks. And Justin Smoak, the first baseman, coming up.
Smoak 5 for 8 in his career versus Hector Santiago.
Well, you got no place to put him now. He's going to work from the full windup with the base loaded, 1 out. .24 pitches thrown so far. The numbers for Smoak, a .220 overall batting average. Actually, he's going to work from the stretch now. Smoak, .333 from the right side. That one low.
And you're not going to get those borderline pitches. That could have, if you're on a roll throwing around the strike zone, that's going to be called a strike because it's touching the bottom part.
Just 21 at-bats for Smoak from the right side of the plate, 7 for 21. Donaldson at third, Bautista at second, and Encarnacion at first. Smoak cuts through that one. It's 1-1. Doesn't seem as timid with the fastball. Seems a little bit shaky, or not full of confidence throwing the off-speed stuff.
Yeah, getting a little bit too quick. He's got to slow it down just enough to allow his arm to catch up with his mechanics.
Got the inside corner, 1-2. Smoak didn't think so. One-two, foul back. Pitch that was up, and that is Justin Smoak's wheelhouse. He likes it both from the right side and the left side. Pitches up in the zone.
Yeah, real surprising, especially when he's hitting left-handed. You would think most left-handed hitters like the ball down in the strike zone. No, he likes that high pitch, whether it's a fastball or something off speed.
Hector's put himself in a tough situation here, walking the bases loaded. Another 1-2, ground ball foul.
And one thing you always think about as a pitcher, you're trying to get through this first inning with no damage. You still have that ability because you have a guy that can roll into a double play, roll into 10. That's what the mindset has to be. If I get a ground ball and an infielder, I can get through this with no damage. My tough inning out of the way, and I put up a 0.
You would think that he would be susceptible now to an off-speed pitch, but he's missed badly on the changeup a couple times already.
Yeah, if I still think you try to sink a fastball on the outer part of the plate, see if you can get that ground ball at someone in the infield until you get a better feel for your off-speed pitches.
30 pitches now, the 31st, and he popped him up. Infield fly rule should be called, and it is. 2 down.
Well, got away with a hanging breaking ball. One of those pitches as a hitter, you see that baseball, you think it's so big, but it's upstairs at 73. Got away with that, but you still have to keep the focus now to get through this inning with no damage. Exactly where this breaking ball is. Stays upstairs. But Smoak committed. The hips were already opening up. He could not keep his hands back and pops it up.
You mentioned how much he likes that pitch up in the zone.
And you do remember that as a pitcher, as the game progresses, you can go upstairs higher than the letters, but if it's below the letters, it's going to be hit hard against them.
Got to avoid the letdown now with 2 outs. Tough hitter in Russell Martin. Veteran hitting .254, 15 home runs, 51 RBIs this year. Hector now working from the full windup. Again, he's still missing up. Not like he's not finishing off his pitches, kind of almost recoiling a little bit. Now he wants a new baseball. A ball on a strike.
And another pitch upstairs.
Now back to the stretch. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. And now he wants to have a conversation with Chris Iannetta. Can't make another visit. Butcher's already paid 1 unless you want to take him out of the game.
Boy, a lot of pitches for a bullpen now that has pitched a lot of late. We're hoping to see Hector into that 7th inning. Still, if he can get through this inning with no damage, you build that momentum and the confidence. This is a huge batter, not only for Hector, but for the Angels with David Price on the mound. He's going back and forth between the stretch and the full windup a number of times just in this at bat alone against Russell Martin.
Good pitch in at the knees.
That's hard to do. It's really hard to do in the middle of an at bat. Go from the stretch to full windup, back to the stretch, now back to the full windup.
Is that part of the problem?
There's no doubt.
Can't decide where he feels most comfortable. 2-2 downstairs, full count now. The Royals get a head start here. The old merry-go-round. Donaldson from third, Bautista from second, and Encarnacion from first. All 3 on base via the walk.
Looks like he's going back to now to the stretch position, which he should be with the bases loaded anyhow, because you don't want to let the guy at first get that big of a jump against you.
Payoff pitch. And he walked in a run. It's 1-0 Toronto. 4 walks here in the first inning for Hector Santiago. Also, Martin picks up his 52nd RBI. And the inning continues. It's Kevin Pillar now up. Pillar hitting .256, 7 home runs, 40 runs batted in, starting center fielder. Takes a strike. Might be the most walks that Hector's given up in an inning. It's certainly not the most he's given up in a game. He gave up 6 against Texas back on April 26th. Ended up getting a no decision in that one.
High off-speed pitch. That's what I talked about as my go-tos. A lot of fly ball outs. And a lot of these pitches in this inning have been high, whether fastballs or off-speed pitches.
Ground ball toward third, and that's foul. Oh, 2. That is lined out toward left. Not very deep. Victorino comes in, makes a slide, and kills off his glove. 2 runs in on what probably should have been the 3rd out of the inning. And it's 3-0 Blue Jays.
Coming sliding in. I'm not so sure he even got it in the glove. It hit his body and on the slide. Just off the glove.
Victorino gets charged with an error, his first of the year. Ben Revere looks at the strike.
And again, as a defender, you want to make every play, but it's very difficult when you're in that outfield or infield for that long a period of time. When you have a pitcher who walks 4 batters in 1 inning, it's difficult to get a good read off the bat. Yeah, they're professionals, and they're going to make those plays 9 out of 10 times. But it's more difficult when you don't have that quick prep step and you're ready to go because you've been waiting around for something to be put in play.
43 pitches thrown by Santiago. Revere, the 8th man to bat. And he rips one out to right field. Calhoun will come in, play it on a hop, being stopped at third as Russell Martin, and the bases are loaded again. Little surprised they didn't send Russell Martin.
Very surprised, especially with 2 outs.
Cliff Pennington coming to the plate.
And your number 9 hitter coming up. Now, if you have Tulowitzki or Donaldson, maybe a little different.
Movement now in the Angels bullpen. Guys starting to stretch. That's not what you wanted to see. A long weekend series. The Angels, in the midst of 17 straight games, get the light at the end of the tunnel on Monday, an off day. Just trying to get there. Have intact, but it's going to be a bullpen game tonight, it seems. The strike. The error for Shane Victorino, the first he's had since August of 2013. Oh, 2. Pennington 2 for 9 in 6 games with Toronto. David Price already having a fantastic season. Spotted 3 runs.
Worst thing you could do is give a ace of a staff that type of lead in the first inning. Makes him even more aggressive.
Almost throws a wild pitch. To me, Gooby, you go back to the Donaldson plate appearance after he struck out Tulowitzki. Trying to be careful with Donaldson. I think they kind of threw him all over the plate. As Pennington goes down swinging. But Toronto sent 9 to the plate, works 4 walks, get 1 hit, 1 error. They lead at 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Lineup 63 and 58 is the record for the Halos. Game number 122 is Victorino in left, Calhoun at right. Trout in center, Albert DHing once again. C.J. Cron at first, Ibarra short. Chris Iannetta, second straight start behind the plate. Ryan Jackson gets a start at second. And it's Caleb Coward batting ninth and playing third as they take on the soon-to-be 30-year-old left-hander Tennessee native by the name of David Price.
Yeah, David Price is having a fantastic season all around. 11-4 with an ERA, 2.41 for David Price. My go-to is to be successful against him. Be aggressive on the fastball. He will throw quite a few of them between his four-seam and two-seam and cut fastball and dictate your own pace because he throws and takes a lot of time in between pitches. Do not get caught up into his pace. Dictate your own.
Victorino hitting .235 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Price with the modified windup. Shane last night 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. First pitch is strike. Price doesn't really mess around a whole lot. He is the guy that will come after you. For the most part, throws a lot of strikes. 138 punch outs, 29 walks. This is popped up on the infield. Justin Smoak puts it away for the first out. Here's the Blue Jays defensively. Revere, Pilar, Bautista in the outfield from left to right. Donaldson, Tulowitzki, Pennington, and Smoak from third to first. Martin behind the plate.
And Kevin Pilar out in center field has made some unbelievable plays this season. 6 outfield assists, 2 errors in center field. He has a total of 9 outfield assists between playing left field and right field. Made some of the most unreal plays this entire season, going over the wall in Toronto to rob a home run.
He's doing everything that you showed him.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's all about the big time play.
One ball, no strikes on Cole. 270, 18 and 65 are his numbers. Multi-hit game last night, 2 for 3. A couple of singles and a walk. This one's out toward left center field. Pilar got a good jump on it. Towards the end of the bat there. 2 down. 4 pitches, 2 outs for David Price. And here's Trout. Now, what have we always said, Gooby, that if you're going to give up a bunch of runs, do it early. At least you have an opportunity to kind of chip away.
Remember early in the season, Garrett Richards had one of those games where he gave up 3 in the first. The next thing you know, he's back out there in the 7th inning, and the club comes around and scores some runs. It's going to be important for the offense to get back and be part of this game at some point, but then also for Hector to put up some zeros and get deep in the game.
The tough part about that is that the Angels' offense has continued to remain inconsistent. But anything can happen throughout the course of 27, now 25 outs left for the Angels. Trout a .297 average, 33 home runs, 72 runs batted in. Like 2 for 3 last night with a double, a single, a walk. Picked up an RBI. It's the off-speed pitch.
He's starting to use that more and more. His changeup. Up to about 23% of his pitches are changeups. Overall, between his fastball and his cut fastball, about 69%. And also will throw his curveball. But his changeup has been very, very good and effective for him.
Trout 3 for 13 in his career against Price. Just missed off the plate. 2-2. A lot of Blue Jay fans in attendance here, especially down the first base line and down the right field line. We're here early for batting practice. Count evens up. Check that, 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Pujols on deck. Weren't with us when we started. Toronto's had 9 men at the plate. Scored 3 times. So Martin walked to the bases loaded. Pilar lined one to Victorino, dropped it, an error. Scored 2 runs. It's Trout held up, Laz Diaz says, and that's a walk.
And that's something that Price doesn't do a whole lot of, is walking back. He's 35 now, all the season going on with 162 strikeouts. Real close to not cross the plate. His hands back.
Albert had a 1 for 3 game last night, DHing once again. Third time he's DH'd in this homestand. He takes low. Albert 3 for 15 against Price in his career. Turn
that changeup over, unable to hit the strike zone. Real good count for Albert to do some damage now.
Albert shoots one out to right field. Bautista chasing it down and onto the warning track it goes, makes the catch, and the Angels leave a man on. We'll head to the second with Toronto leading it 3-0.
Sports update. A special night in Houston, and that wild card races in the American League getting crazier. What a game in Houston. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Nope,
no one.
3-0 Toronto as we start the second. Top of the order, Tulowitzki, Donaldson, Bautista. Hector with 4 walks in the first inning to 48 pitches. Tulowitzki looks to the strike. Tulo struck out to start the game. Last pitcher to issue 4 walks in the first inning, C.J. Wilson, September 22nd last year at Oakland. This one pulled the third. 1 down. Prior to that, it was Joel Pinheiro, also at Oakland. I remember that one. He walked 4 guys in the first.
Whenever I walk guys, I used to blame it on the home plate moving.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It was a smaller home plate.
And it kept moving left and right. I couldn't figure it out.
There's Donaldson. He drew the first walk on 4 pitches in the first inning. jammed and fouled back. Evens the count at 2-2. Full count. And that is ripped down the right field line, slicing toward the corner, and goes foul.
That's a pretty good power going the other way. Well, we showed the difference in the home run type swings for Donaldson and Trout and our tools of the trade to start this game. The longer swing, but it's all about that leg kick, and he gets that foot down to be able to get that swing path, a longer swing path than Mike Trout. So he gets that leg down, and then the bat through the path there for Donaldson. Just got underneath that one. It's all about his timing of his leg kick.
Ground ball back up the middle, knocked down by Hector. 2 down.
Now it's time for our lows never stop improving. We mentioned John Gibbons early in the season. From April and May, record 23 and 29. They were similar as far as runs per game, but ERA up almost at 4.6. But since then, 43 and 26 runs, 5.3 they've been scoring, but they've been pitching and defending a lot better for John Gibbons. That's what he was really concerned about most, is defense and pitching, and he's gotten it.
Blue Jays staff ERA at 3.86. He's R.A. Dickey. He'll go on Sunday against Garrett Richards. Got the bottom part of the strike zone. It's 2 balls and a strike. Bautista with a walk and a run scored. Bautista chased a pitch. It was up in the zone. I don't know how he got it up into that area.
I was going to say,
the upper deck.
No way you're thinking with a right-handed batter you have any chance at a foul ball up there.
Yeah.
That's getting that bat head out quickly.
3-2, and this one lifted out toward left center. It's playable. Victorino moving over. Santiago with a 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. 3-0 Toronto. He takes on dangerous double threat Charles Oliveira, plus a welterweight showdown between Neil Magny and Eric Silva. Catch UFC Fight Night Sunday at 3:30 Pacific, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And his friends call him Charlie.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, Mr. Oliveira.
By all means, sorry, sir.
Mr. Charles.
Yes.
Crone, Ibar, and Iannetta for the Angels against David Price. Ground ball to short. Crone retired for the first down. Ibar coming up. Ibar with good numbers in his career against, decent numbers in his career against David Price, 7 for 27. He's got the most at-bats against David.
Price in that modified stretch position from the full windup.
Out to shallow right center. Pilar comes in. 2 down. Hey folks, join us tomorrow for a pregame ceremony. The Angels will induct D. Chance, Mike Witt, and Tim Salmon into the Angels Hall of Fame. Fans in attendance will receive a commemorative Hall of Fame card while supplies last. Just visit angels.com to get your tickets tonight, tomorrow.
This will be a lot of fun. 3 great guys in the Angels Hall of Fame.
The base is clear with 2 down and Iannetta up. Chris hitting 181, 8 home runs, 29 RBIs. The 1 for 4 game last night.
We're just watching that last delivery by David Price. He recoils when he throws his fastball also.
But the difference being, and you could talk more about recoil than anybody else, but his recoil is after release.
And he's out in front, over the front leg. Hector, a lot of times when he's quick in recoils, he's going across his body with his delivery.
He's almost fighting himself at times. He doesn't even get to the point where he's supposed to be at a release point before he starts moving backward.
It's all even in the wrist he does. He recoils. Price, when he recoils, is after he delivers the baseball and then lands in a more straight up position.
Iannetta lifts one out to right. The Angels go down in order to complete 3-0 Toronto.
Back in this date in 2007, GA Garrett Anderson And an Angel record 10 RBI in an 18-9 win versus the Yankees. One of 12 players ever to have 10 or more RBI in one game. GA. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, we're going to see him in the Angels Hall of Fame before too long.
Yeah. He may or may not be here tomorrow for the ceremony. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Taking a helicopter in?
I don't know.
Sneaking in?
Maybe.
It's going stealth.
Kobe's not doing anything right now, right?
No.
Borrow his helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Encarnacion, Smoak, and Martin. Toronto here in the third inning. Hector falls behind here. 2 balls, no strikes. This one pulled foul. This one pulled foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. 23 doubles to go with the 23 home runs for the Blue Jays DH. Called strike 3, got him. He's got the top part of the strike zone. 3rd strikeout for Hector.
Kind of froze him because he thought it was going to be outside the strike zone. Went backdoor, slider, catching the upper part of the strike zone.
Justin Smoak popped down in the infield in the 1st inning. That was the 2nd out of the inning. It came with the bases loaded. You thought maybe that Hector would get out of it with no damage. But then he walked in a run, walking Russell Martin on a 3-2 pitch. Pilar hit that liner, soft liner out to left. Shane went into the slide, just hit the bottom of his glove, went off his body. 2-run error. Those 2 runs unearned, so it's just 1
But
earned
even
run.
going back to that at bat against Russell Martin, during the course of that at bat, he went from the stretch position to the full windup to the stretch to the full windup back to the stretch. Hector did, which is very unusual because it's difficult to have that same release point that many times with the same batter.
'73 pitches now. 2-2. Foul back. Full count. It's a 6th full count for Hector tonight.
It's 75 pitches now in the 3rd inning.
Ground ball to 3rd. Caleb Coward has it. 2 down. That's what the Honda upcoming schedule has in store for the Angels. 2 more against Toronto. Marco Estrada and Andrew Heaney tomorrow night. R.A. Dickey and Garrett Richards Sunday afternoon, 12:35 start.
And that knuckleball in a day game, if he elevates any of them, you square that up, it go a long way. Richards threw the ball very well his last time out. Heaney's been very good this entire season.
He's got 4 Long Beach State Dirtbags in this series here. Tulowitzki, Marco Estrada going tomorrow. Jared Wheeler, Cesar Ramos.
Great program over the years. A lot of big leaguers.
This one's popped up on the first base side. C.J. Crone. Territory. Drops the baseball. 2nd error of the night. So Martin is on board for Kevin Pilar.
high pop-up. It looked like he was closing the glove before. There it is, before the baseball's even going in the glove and off the end of his first baseman's mitt.
Now, Ryan Jackson hasn't played that many games with the Angels. Probably a play that's easier suited for the second baseman.
Usually you'll see the second baseman call him off.
This one's fouled back and out of play. Pilar 0 for 1 with the error on Victorino in the first. No RBIs for him. This one's popped up, and Ryan Jackson will get an opportunity here. Got a feisty crowd tonight. We're headed to the bottom of the third. Halos down 3-0.
AL wildcard, Texas wins that one today, but the Astros look to continue interleague success, 11-3. But what a job by Mike Fiers tonight against the Dodgers. With 2 outs, has not allowed a hit yet in the game, and Turner, swing and miss, no hitter, throws the glove up in the air. Fiers, what a job, what a performance for the Houston Astros. He throws a no hitter against the Dodgers. The Astros win 3-0
in that ballpark.
In that ballpark.
Wow.
What do we see? A 1-0 game the other day in that ballpark.
Yeah. Mike Fiers was.
What is it? The old Astrodome going back? They turned it down the lights.
Exactly. Remember when we were there when that trade was made, when they acquired Carlos Gomez? They said they got Fiers as part of that deal. We both said, and everyone else, that's the best part of the deal. Fiers can work out of the bullpen, be a starter, terrific arm, and he's controllable for 4 more years.
That's huge for a team like Houston.
8-1 for the Angels here in the third.
And that was Chase Utley's first game as a Dodger. As a DH, hitting number 2 in the lineup.
Two balls and a strike on Jackson, getting to start tonight at second. 0 for 2. It's a brief stint with the Angels so far. Angels got him the early part of the season when they designated Drew Butera for assignment. Trading him to Kansas City. Jackson came back as part of that deal. Swings through that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Product of the University of Miami. Originally the Cardinals system. Called strike 3. The bottom part of the strike zone. And Price picks up his first strikeout of the night.
Definitely is getting the lower part of the strike zone. Russell Martin bringing that glove up just enough to give Nelson a better look. Russell Martin, one of the best in baseball the last couple of seasons as far as pitch framing.
Calhoun cuts through the fastball at 96. Still looking for his first hit. 0 for 10 to start his major league career. Three straight fastballs. We saw that the other night from Jeff Samardzija against Coward.
A lot of elevated fastballs against Coward. Tito just has to bring that pitch down.
A bouncer toward third, and that'll bounce foul. Houston winning tonight. Just needing a victory to stay 2.5 back. Otherwise, they go to 3.5 back, and then they would also find themselves a little bit closer to the Texas Rangers.
So Texas beat Detroit today 2-0. Baltimore, though, lost again to Minnesota.
4-3 the final in that one. Cleveland beat the Yankees 7-3. Coward strikes out, swinging back-to-back punch-outs for Price, 2 down. Victorino popped out to Smoak in the first. Two balls, no strikes. Blue Jays with 1 hit. Halo still looking for their first hit. Had 1 base run, and that was Trout working the 2-out walk in the first. Popped up to shallow right center. Pennington going out. Calls off Pilar. The Halos go down in order. That's 7th straight retired by Price. 3 complete, 3-0 Toronto. A strong fan, you just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast, and of course it's brought to you by T-Mobile. 3-0 Blue Jays. 8-9-1 coming up for Toronto. Revere, Pennington, and Tulowitzki. Revere with a base hit to right in the first inning. Angels were rumored to have interest in Ben Revere. Eventually the Blue Jays making the trade to acquire the outfielder.
Guy to get a baseball, run down and fly a ball with the best of them.
This being his 18th game with Toronto. He's at 211, 1 double, 1 RBI.
He had 24 stolen bases with the Phillies. A lot of speed.
He was at 298 at the time of the trade. Another 3-ball count for Santiago. It's 3-1. 85th pitch of the night now. It's a bouncer to the right side. Crone has it go off his glove. There's an infield base hit. Again, that's one of those plays where you've got a speedy guy at the plate. You're better off letting the second baseman try to get to that ball.
And if you have to go that far in range to the backhand, and you can see Jackson right there, he's in better position to make that play. And then you have a foot race between Hector and Revere running down the line. That's a difficult play. Left-hander on the mound, he's going to fall towards third base.
Has yet to attempt a stolen base in the American League this year. Pennington takes inside. He struck out in the first. Ended the first inning.
Pulled off on that changeup.
Pennington was hitting 237 in 72 games for Arizona. A lot of at-bats as a pinch hitter, 22 of them. Revere had a big jump, this was fouled back. Called strike 3 on the inside. Corner one down. Fourth strikeout now for Hector.
Computer go back to Monday key for this game for Hector to be successful. That inside out, that inside fastball, and back it up with another inside fastball, then go out with your changeup or backdoor slider. When he's been effective tonight, he's been able to go that pattern. When he hasn't been able to pitch inside, that's when he struggled.
Revere takes off. This one's fouled off.
And another big jump. Hector's allowed 14 stolen base in 19 attempts. He does have 3 pickoffs.
.90 pitches now thrown by Santiago. One out here, the fourth. Tulowitzki 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a ground out. Angels have Fernando Salas now loosening in the bullpen. After throwing 48 of his 91 pitches in the first.
pretty good pitch.
Very similar to the one that
It's got the inside corner
that Pennington got rung up on. There he is, Fernando. He'll throw to first. Knocked up on the first base side near the dugout. Has enough of a reason he doesn't.
So they've hit some high pop-ups, fly balls in this game. Toronto.
Long look in for Hector Santiago. One out here in the fourth. Revere again takes off. Tulowitzki skies one to left. Revere touches the bag and heads back toward first. 2 outs. Angel fans, send your kid back to school in style with Junior Angels Kids Club merchandise. Each kid includes an Angels shirt, socks, shoelaces, and more. For only $18, they can be the star of the classroom. Angels.com/Junior Angels for more info to get your kit today. 2 outs. Revere, tired of running, is back at first. Now Josh Donaldson steps up. Donaldson hits one out toward left center field. Victorino racing over, can't get it. Revere will come in to score. Donaldson in at second. It's 4-1 Toronto. Off the end of the bat, but well placed by Donaldson. His 31st double and his 92nd RBI.
We got the left center field. That long swing that he has. And a fastball that's upstairs. So often we said that throughout the scheme. A lot of pitches above the belt. Victorino unable to track it down. Was in the alley for another double for Donaldson, another RBI.
Santiago done here in the fourth inning with 2 outs. Fernando Salas coming on a relief. A pitching change with the Blue Jays leading it 4-0.
Fourth innings are in and out, who's in, who's out, as Fernando Salas takes over on the mound, trying to get the third out here in the fourth. And he will do so in trying to get Jose Bautista. Salas last pitched on Monday through 18 pitches and now one against the White Sox. 3-1 record, a 3.99 ERA. This his 54th appearance. Santiago, shortest outing of the season, 3 2/3. 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Bautista with a walk and a fly ball to left. He's also scored a run.
Boy, Hector, what it was for him from the get-go was just his release point and the follow-through and inconsistencies for Hector tonight. Especially when you face a club with an on-base percentage of .328 and a slugging percentage of .440. Put yourself in those tough counts. Very difficult to get these Jays hitters out.
It's not the shortest start of his career. That came last year against the Texas Rangers right here. 1 inning, 7 runs, 6 earned on 7 hits. Ground ball to short. 2 big hops for Eric Ibar. Inning over, but Toronto tacks on a run as we head to the bottom of the 4th. The Angels now trailing 4-0.
But on a positive note today, a dream came true for 8-year-old Thomas Walkup, who was born partially blind and with shaky eye syndrome. Now, Thomas was born in Millville, New Jersey, Mike Trout's hometown, and his one dream was to one day see Mike Trout in person. And while his family was fundraising for his eye surgery out in California, Trout's mom caught wind of the story and teamed up with the Angels to help make his dream come true. And today, a week after his surgery, he was here at the Big A, and so was his vision. Guys, it's stories like this that really put life into perspective.
Oh, there's no question about that, Alex. We appreciate it.
Goosebumps here now.
After Cole's plate appearance, before Mike comes to the bat, we'll hear from Thomas's mom, Susan Banks, about the experience. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols here in the 4th.
What a smile on his face.
One down. Here's what Susan Banks, Thomas's mom, had to say about the experience.
Somebody asked me before I came here, how would you feel? And I said, I don't know. You know, I mean, it's an experience that as a mom I've never had to go through. And what I've said in the beginning of this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. is take a chance on my son's surgery and take a chance that he's going to have vision just like us and be a normal child. And to see the support and Tim Mead and the Angels and Mike Trout, as busy as he is, to take a few minutes to come over and say hello to my son, words just can't express that.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's Thomas.
And now that's great to see that. Rooting for his hero.
It's the first time that Thomas has ever seen a baseball game. Trout drew a walk in the first. Evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Good rip.
Change up away. Well, his smile, it's amazing watching his hero at the plate.
Imagine his reaction if Trout were to do something here, go deep. It's priceless. Time was called last second there. The Angels have had 1 base runner, and that was Mike in the first. Still looking for their first hit. Two-two. This one's fouled off to the right. Toronto scoring 3 runs in the first, adding a run here at the top of this 4th inning. Four runs charges Santiago. 2 earned. Just missed. Looked like he caught the top part of the strike zone, according to Fox Tracks.
Neither place wanted that pitch, that's for sure.
Just by that reaction.
Backdoor cut fastball.
There's the payoff. Trout grounds one to the right side. And a diving stop by Pennington. Throws to first. Gets Trout. Nice play by the Blue Jays second baseman.
Good range, but we always seem to remember him having a strong throwing arm, and he needed that arm to get Trout going down the line. Dive into the outfield grass, that angle he took, but he's got a strong enough arm to be able to throw even off balance to get Trout by half a step. How great it must be for him to be able to see that and run and see Trout running down the line.
Poole so for 1 with a fly ball to right. Took Bautista to the edge of the warning track to end the first inning. Chopper to third. Donaldson across the diamond, and the Angels go down in order.
That's 10 straight retired by Price. Went to the 5th, 4-0 Blue Jays. By the Dodge Charger with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse. More live channels on the go than cable.
And by Subaru. Test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Forester or go to Subaru.com to learn more.
Top of the 5th inning, Toronto up 4-0. Encarnacion, Smoak, and Martin for Toronto. And Salas back out on the mound. He retired Bautista in the 4th. Walk and a strikeout for the Blue Jays DH. He skies one on the left side. Caleb Coward into foul territory. 1 down.
Clear by Caleb. Got right to that section of the sweet seats down there. Was able to track that one down. Got to the wall first and then catch the baseball.
Yet another rainmaker.
I know.
Of a pop-up.
I know Donaldson's Twitter handle is bringer of the rain, but there's been a lot of bring of the rain fly balls and pop-ups by Blue Jay hitters in this game.
Smoak spins around a hit from the left side. 0 for 2 tonight. A pop-up and a ground down. 207 hitter from the left side this year. Two balls, 1 strike. That's lined out toward left field. Chasing Shane Victorino back. He reaches up and he makes the running catch. 2 down.
Solid route there for Victorino to track that one down. A quick first step. That was the reason why he was able to get to that baseball hit hard by Smoak. Good speed that Victorino has. Run that one down. And Salas happy with that play. Thinking, uh-oh.
This is back up the middle, and Martin with a 2-out single. fourth hit of the night for Toronto. Keeps the inning alive for Kevin Pillar. 1 for 2 game for Pillar. Or pardon me, 0 for 2 game. No balls or strike. Pillar, 32nd round pick in 2011. Cal State Dominguez Hills to Chaminade.
A lot of family and friends here tonight. Tomorrow, close to 100 friends and family at the game.
Ground ball down the line, foul. Wide of the bag. 0-2. Never easy for a guy, 30th round and beyond, 20th round and beyond.
Especially
Nuggets.
Your 4th year, your senior year. Leverage, not a whole lot of leverage.
Fouls this one off, but he's shown that he's taken pride in his defense. He's been so good defensively that if there have been some limitations on the offensive side, gets a little more leeway.
Yeah, he's won some games with his glove. He's got still good speed too. 15 stolen bases. Very good athlete.
Breaks his bat and rolls with the left side. Coward cuts it off. And the Blue Jays are done here in the 5th. Look at the bottom of the inning. Crone, Ibar, Ninetta coming up. The Angels still looking for their first hit. Their playoff chances. Then the Rangers take on the Tigers. Coverage begins at 12:30 Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
I wonder if Madison Bumgarner will hit again. Ooh, Giants. Back-to-back games, he pitched hit. He hit a home run again tonight for the Giants. This time while he was pitching.
David Price has allowed 1 base runner tonight and a walk to Mike Trout with 2 outs in the 1st. That is it. 45 pitches to get through 4 innings. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and is not allowed a hit. Crone swinging first pitch, lines one out to right field, chasing Bautista back to his left. That's over his head. 1 hops the fence. CJ over to second, and it's a leadoff double for Crone. That's his 12th of the season.
He went with the pitch. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Oh, that's a pretty good carry out the right field. To get that fastball, first pitch over the plate there, but it was enough for the plate where CJ Crone could get down and get to that baseball and over the head of Bautista for a double. Again, because all those runs that Toronto scored in the 1st inning, 3 of them, it's still right back in the game, but a couple solid swings. Plenty of game left.
Fly ball 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center. Donaldson playing in. Smoak as well at first. Surprised to see Eric bunting here. I know it's on his own. He's probably bunting for a base hit. We've got behind him Iannetta, Jackson, and Coward. To me, this is, you're the guy.
He's the run producer himself right here.
Yeah.
A career high as far as RBI last season. Got good numbers overall his last 21 games against Toronto. A lot of room out in right field to punch a base hit in that way too. Bautista playing deep.
Handles last night 1 for 5 with men in scoring position. They were 2 for 21 in the series against Chicago. And went 3 of 4. Primarily because of the long ball in the first couple of games.
And 5 home runs.
Chopper to the right side. Moves Cron over to third. 1 out. Infield will play back. Iannetta now up. He put a fly ball to right. His first at bat in the second. Fiftieth pitch of the night for Price. 31 of them strikes. This one's queued up the line. That's a fair ball, and it gets by Smoak. Cron scores. Chris on his way to second. It's an RBI double. You got to call corner pocket when you do that.
Yes. Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it and what kind of rotation the baseball you have on that swing. This baseball is rolling down the line and just over the base in fair territory for an RBI double. 8th double, 30th RBI for Chris Iannetta. A well-placed double.
Chris will take it. There's Ryan Jackson. Struck out looking into third. Jackson hitting .293 at AAA. Salt Lake. Foul tips that one.
Going upstairs with a couple 96-mile-an-hour fastballs. I'd be surprised if he threw anything different than that right now.
Yeah, he's 2 for 27 in his brief major league career. A couple of cups of coffee with St. Louis.
See the range in the pitches. 97 best fastball. 77-mile-an-hour changeup.
He strikes out swinging, 2 outs. Third punch out for Price.
Here Price goes back upstairs again with high fastballs against Cowart. Going to get that first major league hit.
Caleb struck out in the third. He's got Chris Inetta standing at second base. An RBI double for Chris. 4-1 Blue Jays. Bottom of the fifth. It's popped up on the first base shot into foul territory. Goes Justin Smoak, and he'll make the catch for the third out. The Angels get a run on a couple of doubles. 5 complete. Blue Jays leading at 4-1.
Early on, dealing no into the 5th inning. And the fastball velocity going, but C.J. Cron got one of those 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, goes the other way. The first hit of the game, a double to right center field. And then Chris Iannetta, a double off the end of the bat, right down the first base line. Scores C.J. Cron. And that's where we're at right now, 4-1.
Salas back out on the mound, 8-9-1 for the Blue Jays. Revere, Pennington, and Tulowitzki. Fernando's gone an inning and a third, and he's allowed 1 hit. Revere pulls the bat back. Couple of hits for Revere. Last one, an infield hit. Came around to score the 4th run for Toronto in the 4th inning. Now the double by Donaldson.
You want to do if you're Fernando Salas, make sure you have a quick inning, put up a 0. Angels only down by 3 now with that run they scored last inning on 2 doubles.
2-1. Ben Revere, originally in the Minnesota Twins organization. See Trevor Gott getting ready. Ben was a 1st round pick in 2007. High school in Lexington, Kentucky. Donaldson down the line, fair ball. That's at least 2. Cole gets over there quickly, and Revere will stop at second with a leadoff double.
See how quick Revere is when he got around that first base, because he was thinking triple.
Second extra base hit for him since joining the Blue Jays. Here's Pennington. We're back from the left side, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Ball on the third base side. Salas barehands it, fires to first, and got him.
What a play by Fernando.
They're going to take a look at it, it looks like. At least they will have their guys downstairs take a look at it. A lot of the Blue Jays that are sitting up along the railing, along with John Gibbons.
Using the bare hand, pushing that into the ground, and then the firm throw. Looked like he got him.
No argument from Gibbons now.
It's a solid play by Fernando.
Mike Scioscia's coming out. That's going to be it for Salas, with Tulowitzki coming up and a man at third. Looks like it's going to be Trevor Gott coming on in relief. Second pitching change of the ball game. We're in the 6th inning with Toronto up 4-1. In any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 4-1 Blue Jays. We're in the 6th inning with 1 out and a man at third. Mike Scioscia goes to Trevor Gott, rookie right-hander, pitching in his 29th game, 2-1 record and a 1.82 ERA.
Well, he threw the ball exceptionally well the other day against Chicago. His fastball 95-97 range with great movement. Scioscia right now looking for either the gem, Tulowitzki, or maybe get a strikeout.
Trevor pitched Wednesday night, went an inning and 2/3, allowed a hit and had 1 punch out. That's Ben Revere standing at third base. Infield in for the Angels. Tulowitzki 0 for 3, a strikeout, a ground ball to third, and a fly ball to left. Foul back.
Well, he was looking fastball first pitch. He had a pretty good swing at that one. Found it straight back.
Check swing. Didn't go, says Laz Diaz.
1-1. Ball. That hit him.
Still that tough release point on his breaking pitch. It's the one pitch he's going to have to really work on to be more consistent in this role. His fastball is certainly a plus pitch. And when you turn into that pitch, the umpire can also just call that a ball and keep you at the plate. Certainly leaned into that breaking ball.
First and third for Donaldson now. One for two game. Just in. Double home run in the fourth inning, his 31st double. Extending his major league lead in RBIs to 92. This one's flared out to shallow left center field. With Revere's speed, he should be able to score, and he will, uncontested. So the Blue Jays get that run back, and it's 5-1.
And Trout's having a conversation with Victorino. That's almost a play where if you're going to have any play at all, it's going to be difficult against Revere at third base. The center fielder has to call him off. He's going a long way, but especially Victorino going to that way and to throw across your body to have any chance against Revere, you have no shot. Now Trout coming in from that angle has a better shot with momentum going his way, catching on his throwing side, and maybe the way he's thrown this year, you have a shot.
2 outs down. Here's Bautista, the right fielder. Not much wanted to do. He thinks there's a wild pitch that allows Tulowitzki to go to second. Is give up a run, or give that run back, I should say. Especially the way that David Price has thrown the baseball tonight. Blue Jays stake to a 3-0 lead in the first. 4 walks by Hector Santiago, the starter. Walked one in, and of course the big error, the 2-run error by Shane Victorino. But Hector was all over the map. Santiago charged with 4 runs, just 2 earned. The Angels have yet to solve David Price, who's been solid. Hadn't allowed a hit until the bottom of the 5th, gave up 2. 2-0 on the corner, 2-1. Bautista, the right fielder, has walked in a fly ball left and a ground ball to short. Three and 1. This one out to right field. Little chase. Colback hit pretty well, but Calhoun on the track will make the catch. Toronto gets a run back. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Angels. Now trailing at 5-1. fan photo to hashtag WestDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Shane Victorino to lead things off for the Angels, followed by Cole Calhoun and then Mike Trout. David Price, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits allowed. Victorino tonight 0 for 2. He has popped out twice, once the first and once the second. Here's a strike.
One thing about Price, he maintains his velocity throughout the game. Anywhere between 94, 96, even a 97. And also will cut the fastball, especially on the outside part of the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
And I still think the difference maker for Price is when he started to throw more changeups. Even though that wasn't exactly a perfect changeup because it's on the outside part of the plate, but he still could throw that cut fastball in that same plane.
Making his 4th start as a Blue Jay. This is shot through the hole to the left side. A leadoff single for Victorino.
He said his first start up in Toronto, he's never felt a better atmosphere.
That's saying something.
Yes. Consider he's pitched in Detroit.
Playoffs.
In the playoffs with Tampa.
Okay. Yep.
When he first came up, he was in the playoffs and in the World Series. Out of Vanderbilt.
First overall selection by the Rays in 2007. He's thrown just 61 pitches through 5 innings plus 1 batter. He'll face Cole here, who's 0 for 2. A fly ball to center and a ground ball to second.
Still can't quite lay off that high fastball. A little out of the strike zone at 95. He's done a better job this year as far as laying off that fastball for the most part. He couldn't do it on that swing.
Caught the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. There's the strikes and balls. 63 pitches he's thrown tonight.
Yeah, 2-to-1 ratio as far as pitches out of the strike zone as compared to pitches in the strike zone.
Oh,
he was ready, had the glove.
Is that a glove or a skillet? Because that thing ricocheted out of there very quickly. Got that glove in the non-sticks section of the sporting goods department. Oh, that's a tough one. Cole fouls it off. The count remains at 0-2. Leadoff single for Victorino. Second time in as many innings the Angels have had their leadoff man reach. Crone doubled to start the 5th. Eventually scored. Houston won tonight. Mike Fiers with a no-hitter over the Dodgers. Texas won. They shut out the Tigers 2-0.
It's not easy to do the way the Tigers have been swinging the bat of late.
Tampa Bay leading Oakland 1-0 at the Coliseum in the 7th. Cole hits one back up the middle. That'll sneak through. 2 men on. Victorino will stop at second. So back-to-back hits for the Angels here to start the 6th, and that'll bring up Trout.
And this is the opportunity you want as an Angel fan right now, bringing Trout up, especially after 2 base hits. Chance to get all the way right back in the game with 1 swing. Thomas again, excited. Might Trout to come to the plate here.
Mike walked in the first, grounded out in the fourth. Caught the top part of the strike zone.
And that's one thing you don't see Trout do a whole lot, is attack that first pitch. We're over 10% of the time this season he'll swing at that first pitch.
'97 on that fastball, 0-2.
He's going back to back, 97.
Called strike three. Top part of the strike zone. Trout doesn't like the call.
It was kind of a late call, that's why.
One down.
He was hesitant. Jeff Nelson calling that pitch. If you look at our Fox tracks, it's definitely in the strike zone. A lot of the strike zone there, middle part. 3 pitches at 97.
One out now. Victorino still at second. Calhoun at first. Albert 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and a ground ball to third. Downstairs, smothered by Martin. Halo's now 1 for 5 of men in scoring position tonight. Just off the plate.
He has thrown a lot of fastballs tonight. They've been well located. Well, the camera's ready just in case Albert connects on one of those fastballs.
Two and one. Off speed pitch. Donaldson playing Pujols a little bit toward the line. That's lifted out the right. Bautista moves over. Is underneath it. 2 down. Victorino will tag and head to third. There are 2 outs now with runners at the corners.
Let's take a look at our AT&T U-Burst rewind. David Price not allowing a hit at this moment, but a 95-mile-an-hour fastball inner half of the plate. CJ Cron doubles over the head. Bautista in the right field. First hit of the game. This time a man got to second base. Point against David Price eventually scores the Angel run.
Double for CJ, his 12th of the year. Price now at 73 pitches. We just have Jose Alvarez getting ready for the 7th. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Toronto. That's an off-speed pitch.
Back-to-back changeups. That one catching the strike zone.
Throw another one. That was up.
Now more than likely, you got to believe he's going to try to go upstairs with a fastball after back-to-back changeups. The reason why you try to do that is because that fastball will even come in quicker, especially after 3 consecutive changeups.
One, two. And down goes Trout, and the Angels waste back-to-back singles. We'll start the 6th. We'll head to the 7th. Blue Jays on top. Log on to MercuryInsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. By the Palazzo Las Vegas, where every key unlocks a suite. And by Hyundai. The summer clearance is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Top of the 7th inning, it is 5-1 Blue Jays. Jose Alvarez takes over on the mound. It was Trevor Gott that last pitched for the Angels, and he went 2/3 of an inning. Hit Tulowitzki. But the run got charged to Fernando Salas as Ben Revere doubled to lead off that 6th inning. Jose pitching in his 44th game. Pitched last night, an inning and 2/3. 3-3 mark at a 3.40 ERA. He's the third reliever used by Mike Scioscia. As Hector Santiago had his shortest outing of the season, 3 2/3. Salas an inning and 2/3. Gott 2/3. Edwin Encarnacion to lead things off. 0 for 2 tonight. Did well during that 16-game hitting streak. This one's fouled back.
He's got real good power the way he loads up his hands. Kind of an open stance. Yeah, you would think you can try to throw fastballs in on him.
He's hoping you do.
Because that's why he's got that open stance. He's trying to bait you to bring that in, because the hands being low, you think as a pitcher that you can get inside on him.
One, two, little dribbler foul.
Change-ups and curveballs, especially from lefties away. Effective if you keep it down against them. But if you're going to try to sneak something inside, it's got to be off the plate in.
Smoak on deck, and then Russell Martin. This is Sky out to shallow right. Jackson going out. Calhoun coming in. And it's Jackson, the second baseman, overruns the baseball. It has been that kind of night for the Angels. That is a single.
That's a pretty frustrated look for Mike Scioscia, because this team has been very good as far as not allowing many, even though that's going to go down as a base hit. But the fewest unearned runs in the American League. There's 24 unearned runs coming into this game. Kansas City with 26. Tampa Bay 27.
Smoak drives one out toward left center field. Trout can only watch this one go. A two-run blast by Justin Smoak makes it 7-1 Toronto. 12th home run of the season for Smoak.
163rd for the Blue Jays as a team. It was key for Toronto to get him in the lineup, especially playing first base. He's a very good defender. And Bautista was struggling with his shoulder. He had to DH a lot, and then Encarnacion had to play a lot of first base. One point hot day, Colabella and Valencia playing corner outfield positions when we were out in Toronto.
Danny Valencia now with the Oakland A's. #163rd home run hit by Toronto this year. 71st out on the road. That's second behind the Seattle Mariners as far as road home runs.
Well, that baseball got out quickly.
Yeah, that was on a line. Hart fouls it off. Russell Martin with a walk, reach on an error by Crone, and a base hit in the fifth. He's 1 for 2. Still 9 outs to go for the Angels, but a big letdown coming into the big weekend series against Toronto. This one's hit over to short. Little one hopper for Eric. Hey folks, on Sunday, it's another Family Sunday presented by Yakult when the Angels take on the Blue Jays at 12:35. Visit the right field pavilion for free games, arts, and crafts. Get your tickets at the stadium box office or online. There's Kevin Pillar, the center fielder. 0 for 3.
Pillar with his hands at that same height as Encarnacion.
One ball, one strike.
Playing his first game here at the Big A.
He rips that one foul. Quick hands. Ball jumps off his bat.
Very quick on the inside part of the plate.
Two. Andrew Heaney on the mound tomorrow for the Angels. Garrett Richards on Sunday. It doesn't get any easier. Long road trip upcoming. Well, it fouls this one back. Going to Detroit for 3, Cleveland for 3, and then wrapping up in Oakland before coming home to face the Rangers, the Dodgers, and the Astros.
Very tough.
Go get them.
Homestand.
Yeah. Pilar just, no. Thought he got a piece of it. He did not. It's a strikeout. 2 outs.
Their number of pitches on the inside part of the plate through a changeup down and away.
There's Ben Revere's had a nice game. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double, 2 runs scored. Got in the 8th spot. Led off the 6th with a double. Goes off Salas. And 13 doubles with the Phillies this year prior to the trade. Oh, 2. Just off the plate. Sitting started on the pop-up that should have been the first out, but misplayed by Jackson for a single. And then Smoak, just a laser beam for a home run. 7-1 Blue Jays lead here in the 7th. Alvarez thought he had the punch out.
Yeah, a little bit off the outside corner. This Blue Jay team has been very, very good at home. 40-23, but under 6 games under 500 on the road.
.27 points better offensive batting average wise at home compared to on the road. They've been a machine in the second half as Revere goes down looking. Stretch time here at the Big A. It's 7-1 Toronto. So the Astros beat the Dodgers 3-0. Texas shut out the Tigers. Baltimore lost, so that helps the Angels, with Minnesota winning that one 4-3. Cleveland over the Yankees. Some of the scores: Tampa Bay currently leading Oakland in the 8th inning at the Coliseum. The White Sox leading Seattle 4-3 in the 8th. Here it's 7-1 Toronto. Ibar, Iannetta, Jackson for the Angels here. It's David Price. Coming into this inning, he'd thrown 77 pitches, 53 for strikes, 5 punch outs, 1 walk, 4 hits allowed. Chopper back up the middle. Tulowitzki had it go off his glove, and it's a single for Eric Ibar. So make that 3 straight innings. The Angels have had their leadoff man reach.
Just out of the reach of Tulowitzki. Use the middle of the field. Much better chance against Price.
Iannetta cued a double down the first base line. Brought home a run. The only run for the Angels so far. Chris's 8th double of the year. The RBI's 30th. Oh, 2.
.82 pitches, 57 strikes for Price.
Toronto's bullpen has been pretty good. Got some good arms out there. 3.19 ERA for that bullpen. But right now, Price doesn't need any help. One, 2. Chris strikes out swinging. There's the first out.
That was a solid changeup. Might have been his best changeup he's thrown. He's put a few of them upstairs. That was perfect tailing away action against a right-handed batter.
That double that he got was on an off-speed pitch as well.
That's the thing for Price right now. He still has that good velo on his fastball, but his changeup gets some outs. And that's what you want. Outs with your changeup. Either ground ball, fly balls, an occasional strikeout.
Jackson 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. One and 2. Mentioned this is the 4th start now for Price as a Blue Jay. Shortest one of 7 innings was against the Yankees. Got a no decision his last start also against the Yankees. That was at the Rogers Center. But in that one, he gave him 3 runs on 11 hits. 112 pitches. Two outs.
That fastball at 96 was just off the outside corner. Close enough. You have to try to foul that one off, keep your at bat live.
Caleb Coward 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-up. This one rolled foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Alvarez will come back out for the 8th. Just needing to get some innings. Soak up some innings. Short outing for Hector Santiago. Coward fouled that one back into the chest protector of Russell Martin.
There's another good changeout from Price.
One, 2 again. And Caleb goes down swinging. The Angels are down here in the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. Toronto still on top.
As the Jays have a 7-1 lead heading into the 8th inning here tonight. And welcome back to Angels Live. Everybody, Kent French with you and following up this game. It's all about Angels Live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Myself, Jose Mota, Tim Salmon, Alex Curry bringing all the highlights and interviews. And also, we're going to revisit a story we've been talking about through the course of the night about Thomas Walkup, an 8-year-old from Millville, New Jersey, home of Mike Trout. He had his eyesight restored last week after being born partially blind. He came to California, had the surgery, and tonight he got to see his hero Mike Trout in a baseball game for for the very first time. One story you can't get enough of, fellas.
Nice line, Frenchie. We will look forward to hearing the post-game show. It's been a tough night for the Angels. Tough way to start this important weekend series against the Blue Jays, especially with Houston and Texas having one tonight. With Pennington in the hole and no balls, 2 strikes. We mentioned the schedule already. And it's not just beating up on 4th and 5th starters. It's figuring out guys like David Price. You just don't figure that out. It's going to be a long 5+ weeks the rest of the season. Hey, follow the Angels all season long with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment. At any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today.
With this Toronto club, you have to be at the top of your game as far as a pitcher. Tonight, Hector, command issues even from the first inning on. You get inside a lot of these hitters here for Toronto. They like to get their arms extended. Andrew Heaney watching this game today clearly will make a mental note about the fact that you can get inside with the fastball, but you want to get ahead of the count and then expand the strike zone. But also you got to think in terms of giving your pitchers some early support.
This isn't something new that all of a sudden has popped up. This has been an issue pretty much all season long. The ebbs and flows of the offense. The fortunate thing for the Angels is that they've been able to lean on the pitching for the most part this year. 5th best staff in the American League at 3.68. Tonight, not a good night, obviously, but the pitching has held up in a couple of the homestands that we touched on last night. 7-2 after the break. Could have easily been 2-7.
And the big thing they've done well is they haven't given up many unearned runs. Couple tonight, but very good as far as that total this season.
Tulowitzki rips one up to the alley in left center field. This will roll to the wall. It's a double, his 4th as a Blue Jay, and it puts a man in scoring position with 1 out here in the 8th. Blue Jay fans that are here with the MVP chant as Josh Donaldson steps to the plate. The 1 for 2 game, 2 RBIs, a double and a sac fly. He's also picked up a walk.
He doesn't get cheated on his swing, that's for sure. He's got real good plate coverage. Certainly he's had a lot of guys on base every time he's come up to hit, not only in this game but throughout this entire season. Now with 93 RBI.
He swings and drives one out to left field, chasing Victorino back. It's over his head. Short hops the fence. Tulowitzki will come in to score, and it's 8-1 as Donaldson has picked up his 3rd RBI of the night.
Now 32 doubles.
Alvarez appears to be done here in the 8th inning. got the lead man to start this inning. Then back-to-back doubles chasing the lefty. Another lefty coming on in relief. Cesar Ramos, a pitching change here in the 8th. But Toronto in control, 8-1. Mound, he'll be facing Jose Bautista with a man at second base. Josh Donaldson just doubling home. Tulowitzki, 49th game for Ramos, 2-1 record, a 1.98 ERA. Pitched last night, went 2 innings, and had 3 strikeouts. Faced 6 batters, retired all 6 with the 3 punches.
Made a lot of good pitches last night. Hit his spots, got ahead. Big thing for him is command of his slider.
Bautista 0 for 3, a walk with a run scored in the first. 9 hits for the Blue Jays, 5 for the Angels. Breaking ball for a strike.
Bautista didn't like that call, but that got a lot of the strike zone. Good feel for the slider so far for Ramos.
A swing and a miss. 2 outs. Good slow breaking ball.
70 miles an hour to get a swing and miss.
Here's the Blue Jay DH. 1 for 3 tonight. A couple of runs scored. 17 game hit streak now. A single that led off the 7th. That was the pop-up that dropped shallow right. Blue Jays with a victory tonight would pick up a game on the Yankees. They would find themselves a half game back in the East. Pick up a game on the Angels. They're already in the first wild card spot. The Angels, the second wild card spot, 3 up on the Angels. Texas would be a half game behind the Angels in the West. And Encarnacion lifts this one out to left center. It's playable for Victorino. Still backpedaling.
They get some height on their swings.
Unbelievable. A run is added on. It's Toronto 8, the Angels 1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-1. 93 pitches for Price, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. Victorino 1 for 3. A leadoff single in the 6th inning. If there was one inning that stood out that tried to climb back into a game, it would have been the 6th. From the standpoint of Victorino, Calhoun both got on board with singles to lead off the inning. Then Trout struck out looking. Pujols, a fly ball to right, and Crone struck out swinging. 1-2.
Another one was real good changeup from Price.
This one out to right field. Bautista will have a play on it. 1 away. Brings up Calhoun.
99 pitches, 70 strikes for Price. An outstanding percentage of pitches in the strike zone. One tough inning, 21 pitches back in the 6th inning for him.
That is driven out to right center field. Towering shot. Kevin Pillar back. That is gone. A big fly for Cole Calhoun. His 19th of the season. 8-2 Toronto.
Added on to a career high. 19 home runs now for Cole. 66 RBI. Changeup. Middle of the plate. Hits that one out to right center field. It's his 6th home run against left-handed pitching this year.
Trout with a walk, a ground down, and a strikeout.
Thomas trying to work the magic. 2 Trout hats on.
Aaron Sanchez up and loosening. Off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Jammed him. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two on the way. Upstairs, full count. 105th pitch of the night. Payoff pitch, and he got him swinging an off-speed pitch. 2 down. Albert 0 for 3. A couple of fly ball outs and a ground out. Albert reaching for this one, hits one out to left field. Revere moves over, puts it away, and that's the third out. Cole Calhoun adds to the Angels' tally, but the Angels still down 6 as we head to the ninth.
Play of the game brought to you by Arco. Before the game, Mike Trout to visit Thomas Walkup, both from Millville, New Jersey. An opportunity after the surgery to be able to see, be around his hero in Mike Trout. What a moment that was for during batting practice today. Thomas, huge smile on his face the entire night.
The only bright spot for the Angels tonight, Thomas seeing his first baseball game ever. To see his hero, meet his hero before the game. So we start the ninth inning. 8-2 Blue Jays. This one grounded to short. The bat of Justin Smoak. One down. Ramos has now faced 3 batters. He's retired all 3. Russell Martin comes to the plate. 1-for-3 game for Martin. He made it 1-0 in the first, working a bases loaded walk. Tampa Bay ended up defeating Oakland tonight 2-1 at the Coliseum. Tampa Bay 3 games back of the Angels in the wild card at the start of the day.
Well, we talked about it, and we have talked about it a number of days in a row, how crazy that's going to be, that last wild card spot.
Torino camping underneath this one. 2 outs. Yeah, I mean, you look at the wild card right now. Toronto leads. The Angels are second by a half game over Baltimore. They lost tonight. Texas won. So the Rangers now a half game back in that wild card and a half game back, of course, in the West. Minnesota won. They defeated Baltimore 4-3. The Twins now 2 back of that second wild card, and Tampa Bay won. So they would find themselves 2 back as well. Then you've got the Tigers, who ended up losing today, but the Tigers all of a sudden a little bit better baseball. Tigers at the start were 3.5 back today of that second wild card spot. Pilar rips one down the line. That is a fair ball. Reno plays the carom cleanly. Pilar into second with a double. Second hit of the night.
He turned on that one on the inner half of the plate and was down. All speed pitch. A breaking ball was down, and Pilar went down and got it. Pulled it right down the line. It's 22nd double.
6 of the 10 hits tonight for Toronto, extra base hits. Ed Revere 3 for 4, a couple of singles, a double. Struck out looking his last time up.
It's a pretty good pickup too by the Jays. Gibbons with a lot of players with power, but also now have a player with a lot of speed. Ben Revere.
Little flare out to left, and that's going to fall in for a hit. Pilar being waved in. Victorino was playing very shallow, the third of the plate. Iannetta waves at that one-hop throw, and it gets by Chris. That allows Revere to get the third. It's 9-2. The throw from Victorino tailing in toward the runner. And Chris with the glove trying to scoop it. Couldn't come up with it.
He charged that one well, playing shallow. Up the line and unable to catch it and apply a tag.
It's a single with an RBI for Revere, so a 4-hit night. And it's a second error charge to Shane Victorino. The third for the Angels. One ball, one strike on Pennington, 0 for 3 tonight. One ground ball to third. Coward has it. And we will head to the bottom of the ninth. The Angels down 9-2. David Price, who went 8 innings tonight. 2 runs, 6 hits, including the home run to Calhoun. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. Lowe started the season with the Seattle Mariners. On the year, 40 games, 0-2 record, and a 1.52 ERA. With Toronto, he has struggled. 6 games, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, and 3 strikeouts. Halos here in the 9th inning have Crone, Ibar, and Iannetta coming up.
Lowe has a good fastball himself. 91-96 hard slider. Sometimes will overthrow that slider, but been very solid this season.
Crone 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. A reminder, tomorrow night's festivities, Hall of Fame festivities, begin at 6. First pitch being pushed back to 6:37. Angels Live will kick things off at 5:30. Steve Chance, Mike Witt, and Tim Salmon being inducted into the Angels Hall of Fame.
Should be a very special night for all 3.
Andrew Heaney will be on the mound for the Angels. Crone goes down swinging for the first out. Erica 1 for 3 game. Single to lead off the 7th. He's got a couple guys in the dugout there, the ricochet. One ball, 1 strike. So 1 time, 41,110 here tonight. Hat giveaway. But, many have taken off. A long and, dare I say, bad game for the Angels. It started early. Hector Santiago throwing 48 pitches in the first inning, walking 4 guys, and not helped out either by a big error in left. Hector with his shortest outing of the season at 3 2/3. And the bullpen had to get used. Salas, Gott, Alvarez, and Ramos.
After getting used quite a bit the night before. For a big outing tomorrow from Andrew Heaney, who has been very, very good for the Angels.
2 down. Iannetta 1 for 3 with an RBI double.
There's Andrew. A chance to watch some of the pitches that the Jays hitters have hit and what they have not hit, and how they pitch against them. Especially do not let them get their arms extended.
1-1 to Chris. 1-2. The big group of Blue Jay fans now on their feet on the first base line.
There is a ton here tonight.
They were here early.
We've had some huge crowds at Rogers Center.
That place can seat quite a few people.
A couple of years they had about 4 million for the season. Average around 50,000 a game.
2-2. Iannetta takes apparently down low. Full count. Iannetta strikes out. The Angels go down in order as Lowe strikes out the side. Toronto takes game one by the final of 9-2.
Yeah, that 3-run first inning was the downfall for the Angels. Patient hitting for Toronto. Then eventually that power came together. Josh Donaldson, another big game. And David Price dealing once again since that trade coming over to the Jays.
Blue Jays take game one. Andrew Heaney will try to right the ship tomorrow. 9-2 the final tonight. Stick around. Angels Live Post is coming up next.